believing what this guy was saying. That was my first instinct, in fact, I shut down that what he was saying was not true, because it is not typical for a woman to abandon her own child, not to talk of a newborn baby. A newborn baby. To abandon your own newborn baby as a mother. And hello, my darling Zion kings and queens. How are you doing? Everything okay with you? How far with your side? So, today, I want us to just talk about something. Most of the time when you hear stories of, I would say, abandonment, or stories like this, it is always typical. It is always popular to hear stories of men abandoning their children, abandoning their family, or not being in the life of a child. You don't hear it from the other sex. You don't hear it from the opposite sex. It's not typical. It's not story. It's almost impossible for you to hear stories like, oh, the woman actually left the child. So this story, God, my friend who was even telling the story was still sobbing. She was still sobbing, like it happened to her, and she wanted me to talk about it on my show. You know that men also go through. Men also, the experience men have. It's just that it's not typical for men to, men bottle up a lot. It's not typical for men to come out and share stories of what they go through in a relationship, or this particular one that I'm about to share. So she said, according to her, she went to one of these restaurants to just get smoothie, to get something to drink. And as she was waiting to get her drink, she saw this guy seated alone, wailing. You see, when you see a woman cry, it is different. Sometimes you either pull your instinct. If it's okay, you can walk up to the person and want to find out. But when you see a man crying, because it is not a thing it is not their thing. When you see a man crying, you know that there is a big problem. That is a big problem, because this is not what they typically do. This guy was not he was wailing, he was crying, seated by himself. Apparently he has also ordered stuff and he was waiting. But at that point he was crying. So my friend was now forced to, walk up to him and ask him if she could sit down by his side, and without even resisting, as if the man was just looking for a shoulder to lean on. He was waiting for someone to walk up to him and just help him lift up that body, lift up that what he was going through at the time. As if he was just waiting for someone to say, I need to help you. What is the matter? And so he shifted, and my friend sat down. And my friend said, without even saying, the way this guy was crying even brought tears to her eyes, without even knowing what was going wrong in this guy's life. In fact, the way he was crying got her emotional. So she sat with him, and she didn't want to start asking the guy, up front, all she wanted to do at that point was to just console him, was to tell him everything, no matter what, as a child of God, no matter what he was going through, that she can assure him that God is in control. God got his back. So she was just using the word of God to just console him at the time. And when he was comfortable, hey, my sisters and brethren in Christ, he now, guy, started his story. By the time he was done with this story, my friend said her whole body was on fire. Her body was shaking. Her body was on fire in disbelief of what she just heard. So she said he was dating this girl. They fell in love, and to him, he really, really, really loved this girl, and they wanted to. He was looking forward to spending the rest of his life with her. But apparently she wasn't ready to commit to that kind of serious relationship. She just wanted someone, you know, to be in her life, and maybe she still wants to explore the world. So it wasn't like she was ready to have any kind of serious relationship that would lead to marriage. So at the time, they were going and doing their own stuff and loving on each other. Anyways, the girl showed up one day to let him know that she was pregnant. According to him, he said it was like, in fact, it was as if he just won a lottery. It was the best news he has heard so far in a long time. And so many thoughts, you know, so many positive thoughts, you know, was just flooding his head. You know, he was already imagining that maybe that will convince the girl to want to settle down. That will get, she said, look, I am not a perfect man. I'm not a perfect man at all. But to be honest with you, I'm a moralist. I'm a good guy. I know what it takes. I don't need anyone to tell me how to take care of a woman, how to treat a woman good. So it was far from me. How to treat a woman like a queen, how to take care of a woman, how to, you know, that he was not a perfect person, but he knows how to take care of, you know, a woman. And that to even top it up, that he really, I mean, even girls that he doesn't really so much care about and he's not into, that he really takes care of them and treats them like queen. Not to talk of this lady who he's actually head over heels for, that he really loved this girl. So he was already looking at treating in fact, he was ready to just, if he could buy the whole world for this girl. That was how much he loved her. And so when the girl came and said, oh, that she was pregnant and whatever, oh, he got really excited and happy and thought that would convince the girl to, you know, want to spend the rest of her life. But she now said that she was not ready to keep the pregnancy, because the way he was excited, the girl was like, why are you so excited? Why are you so excited? I'm not keeping it. I'm not keeping it. The man said, you're not waiting. You are not what? What did you just say? She said, I'm not keeping it. Why are you so excited? I'm not keeping it. What do you know? I'm not keeping it. I'm just letting you know, but I'm not keeping it. The man now started begging her. The guy started begging her. Please, you don't even need to work. I will have to work. If you think that, look, I will be in your life, I will be in this baby's life, you don't have to worry about it. The lady said, come, don't even go there. I am not ready to keep it. I'm not ready for any baby. I don't want any baby, blah, 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 blah. The guy said he was even laughing, because it is not typical, you know, of a woman to come and say, it is always rare, except they are afraid that, you know, you'll not be in the baby's life. And she said she doesn't want, you know, am I not doing good? She now started asking the girl questions. I'm ready to do more. If you think I'm not doing enough, you're not satisfied, I'm ready to do more for the sake of this baby, you know, please just, she said no. Anyway, fast forward, every attempt to get this girl to, you know, commit to, she said she was not ready. And no, it's not even a young girl, though. But she said she wasn't ready. I think she was sincere enough to say she's not ready to bet, and she's not ready for babies. She doesn't want babies, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, so the guy was like, okay, do me this favor. Take care of, you know, carry the baby. Please don't do anything to this baby. Carry the baby for 9 months, and as soon as you push the baby out, I will take care of my baby. I will be my, you know, I will take care of my baby. If you don't want to take care of, if you don't want to be in her life, no problem. And that was actually what happened. But hear this, you know, that was actually what happened. So she actually carried the baby to 9 months, nursed the baby, and pushed the baby out. And she said, true to his word, true to her word, that he thought that, you know that process of bonding with a mother. I'm talking about the mother. We know, I have children, so I know the process. Even if you change, even if you say, oh, this pregnancy, blah, 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 through that journey of pregnancy, something in you will just change. Something in you will just click. You just bond. Something about that connection between you and that baby in your womb will just give you a lot of thought, a lot of change of mind. He said he has never seen a human being like this lady. All through the pregnancy, there was no problem. Everything went well. And as soon as she had the baby, she told the guy, I told you I am not interested in this baby. I don't want this baby, so you can have it. And that was what happened. He's been in the life of this child forever. Been in the life of this child forever. Lost this baby. I'm like, what? She said, my friend said she didn't believe. He said, if you see this guy, you will know. The way he even talks about the baby, you can see that passion, that love of a father, both the love of a father and the love that the mother would have showered on this man carry him on top of his head. That is what this baby enjoys. But she said that it's been a hurdle, being a father, nursing a little baby and also trying to juggle it with work has been, it's just been too much. He's changed a lot of jobs just to accommodate the child. He's done a lot of things just to accommodate the child because he doesn't want to go far, from that is, in fact, the two of he said, she's all I've got in this world. She's all I've got in this world. And I don't want to just have to carelessly leave her for anyone to take care of. So I am the major caregiver. And so because of that, that has really affected his job. He's changed job a lot of times just to accommodate, and he got this good job and he just lost his job because of the baby. And right now things are just going towards the left. Things are going towards the left for him. He's not been able to keep any job because of being in the life of this child and not able to even pay for a proper caregiver to take care of this child. And at this point in time, he said the both of them are so used to each other. The both of them are so close and so used to each other. The baby is about, I think he said the baby is about 2 now. So close to each other that, they cannot afford to be apart. They cannot afford to be away. But right now, he just lost his job again. And that was why he was crying, because he said he doesn't know where the next meal will come from. He does not know where the next, how to even take care of this baby. He could have lived in the car. He would have lived in the car and still juggle his life around and know how to get back on his feet. But his baby is always, that right now he had to give the baby to the friend's wife just for him to just go cool off. And he said, but again, you will not blame the girl, that he has never blamed the girl because he was the one that actually told the girl to keep the pregnancy. But what marvels him is how, since the girl walked away, that she has never... my friend now asked her if the girl is in the same... He said, she doesn't even know. The first time when this baby turned 1, he tried to get the girl to at least sing a happy birthday to her, or just wish her, or just come around and just come celebrate with them. She blocked after that call. She said, that she was going to call. How is she doing? Casually. How is she doing? Is she okay? Is she fine? All that kind of story. The guy said, now, wow. So he lost his job, and that was why he was crying, because it's been hell for him. He said he's not been able to awake in the night. Everything that a mother is supposed to do for a child, a newborn, a child, is what he's been doing, and that he doesn't want anybody else. This is the treasure. This is the life. This is all he's got. Like the baby could be compared to the breath, the oxygen it takes. Lord, I think it's about time we balance some of these topics. Just as we keep shouting and stressing on DV in women. Somebody, there are DV men too. There are men who are also going through DV. But we don't talk about it a lot because the focus is, in situations like this, it is women that also take most of the blow. It happens more predominantly within a particular sex, which is women. I guess that is why we talk about it a lot and you don't get to hear. And again, men are not wired to speak about such things. Men men supposedly are expected to just bottle it and take it as a man. Please don't bottle it and don't take anything as a man. You can imagine that man, for a man to cry like that, something must really be eating him up. That situation must have been eating him up, and nobody to talk to, nobody to tell how he feels, and nobody is speaking for him, nobody is looking out for him, nobody is fighting for him, nobody is standing for him. So they just stay in, it's like man alone, isolated to deal with that situation. While we look out for our women, let us look out for our men too. Men too are going through a lot. Men also are going through a lot. Check on your brothers. Check on your co-workers. Check on your neighbors if you're in good terms with them. Check on the opposite sex. Check on them. Check on your father. Check on your husband. Men also go through a lot. And because they don't open their mouth to say does not mean that something is not eating them up. Look out for them, speak with them. They also break, just like this man who was wailing in a public space. He didn't even care, crying like his life. In fact, his life has been ripped out of him. Let us be considerate and let us look out for one another, whether it's the same, your sister, your brother. Let us learn to look out for one another. Let us also be kind in our thought. I told my friend, I said, for God to have positioned, because you have no idea what would have happened next. You have no idea what would have, because that guy said you are an angel. In fact, God just brought you for a time and season like this. Learn to speak up. Learn to say, somebody will be out there that God can use to bring a solution, lift up that burden, so to say. Let me know at the comment section. I love you, and there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. Learn to share, learn to be a brother's keeper. I love you guys. Let me continue with my cooking. Bye.